Hello, everyone, and welcome to Terminal Thursday. Every Thursday, on a weekly basis, we play multiplayer games. We from the dev side, together with, well, challengers from the community. Hey, and hello, William and Lightning Lord. How you guys doing?
Hello?
Hello. Today, the Lightning Lord will be the challenger. Are you gonna be playing the Soviets, Lightning Lord? Oh, he's saying he's having trouble with the microphone. Well, I think it will be a terrific game, though. I will be hosting. You wanna say a little bit about William, about today in particular? It's a day for everyone who follows the space launch. Today was the launch of Gemini 4. In the space race.
That seems interesting. I mean, I'm not that well versed into the space race. Not into its details. So, what was Gemini 4 then?
Well, the Gemini missions, of course, they were sort of a bridge to the moon, I think, referred to many times as the bridge to the moon, and became sort of the pathway for the Americans to reach the moon finally and boot the moon landing.
Yes, those. The one leading to such timeless albums as Operation Mercury and oh boy, there's another one from Baghdadi. But have you ever heard of Baghdadi?
Yes.
Yes, see that's interesting because when I ask Americans, they never heard of Baghdadi, even if, from my point of view, that was the most American Belgian comic possible, and really well documented because it was full of real fact about Cold War aviation. In addition to goofy moments where Tucson destroys an antique Korean map on the bridge of an aircraft carrier, but that's another matter.
You know that is exactly what's going to be happening now when the United States will be defeating the Soviet Union. Lightning Lord is going down. He's going down. Hey there, Bojack. So a solid start. We have a few well-placed focuses, but of course the Soviets will begin. William, by the way, now that you are here, have you? You know, we should do something with maybe a mission with Yuri Gagarin.
Yeah, what do you want?
I know
I
that
mean,
Yuri Gagarin was
is it
sent out.
isn't the first man in space already something about Yuri Gagarin?
Yeah, but he was sent out on a mission later on afterwards to basically conquer, soft power for the Soviet Union.
Ah, yes, that.
Yes. Hey, Python.
Hello.
How are you doing on
So
this
basically,
fine Thursday?
Doing good.
Go ahead, William. What were you saying?
so basically using him as a propaganda tool, and then suddenly people will start going. Yeah.
Well,
So, yes, we saw Yuri Gagarin, and then decided to let 20,000 T-60 pass the border.
no, no, but he was sent.
Hashtag video game logic. What?
No. But I mean, he was sent on this world tour basically after having been out in space. He even visited the Swedish bandy finals, and he went, on to Sri Lanka. Like, yeah, they just traveled the world afterwards.
And you know what it would create next?
Go ahead.
Some African space
Disarmament.
programs, like the one when you train people to jump and then to roll them in a barrel to prepare them to go to space. Like I think it's the space program for Botswana or something like that.
Oh, they did that?
Yeah, there was one guy who was like, he had the dream to go to space and none of the funding. And if he wasn't so dedicated about it,
But that is cool though. That
I mean,
for
that
anyone
is
anyone
cool.
for anyone watching this.
Depending
now
on
you
you view it, it's a dedication towards a goal that was unimaginable, a few decades prior. And for somebody with racist views, he would just say those blacks even can take the best idea and do nothing with them. Which, I mean, with somebody with no formal education to try to say, I want to go to space, that's a bit ambitious.
It's wonderfully ambitious, but and I mean that's the kind of thing that leads humankind to.
And
do wonderful
honestly,
things.
I'm in awe at just the idea. I want to go to space, and nobody can tell me not to, because in a way,
that's amazing. If
they're
anyone
very-
has more information about this and who that person
I think,
is,
yeah. I mean, and there was also
Please write us, that's-
didn't Mobutu also launch a rocket at some point?
whom?
Mobutu.
I don't know actually. I don't know
I will-
that. But if anyone has some info on that, that would also be cool.
It's in French. Une fusée pour Mobutu, un rêve spatial brisé. So, yeah, apparently Zaire and a German guy named Lutz Kaiser wanted to launch a rocket.
That's amazing. That is
Why
that's
can I
pretty
put a
cool.
post a screenshot like that? Because apparently this was the experiment.
You can put that on in the stream chat.
Put that on the Discord, but no, yeah, okay, let's check the stream chat. Strategy Mill, where are you? Oh, come on.
Pat it loud. That's a good beginning actually. Just losing people.
So, yeah, the link I just sent apparently was Zairian rocket stick.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have that.
I mean, that was not enough to launch a man into space, but that was already, I mean, I guess, a good beginning if you wanted to try something. Oh,
Yeah.
and they were granted a territory of 100,000 square kilometers. Just as a giant buffer zone for potential launch pad. Because obviously.
Wow. That is vast amounts of land.
Oh, and the company was OTRAG for Hospital Transport und Raketen AG. You can't make that kind of shit up.
Whoopsie daisy. Ho Chi Minh seems to have had an accident.
Oh yes, a photocopy machine, actually.
I'm taking Waffle. Would you get a game in today?
Maybe? Maybe.
Alright, what time from now?
Fate nationalized by Libya. What the fuck?
Just
I mean, isn't that the most Cold War fate you can get? A space company nationalized by Libya.
well,
You know,
but they
imagine
they did want to have
imagine
rockets.
if the fate of SpaceX was nationalized by South Sudan.
But they, I mean, they did want to get rockets, so it's not not that weird, is it?
Yeah, not that weird, but still, that's still something. And then there is the weird. Yeah, I think that's that one. Oh, it's in you. Wait.
So the question is, how? What will? What will Lightning Door do next?
So that's a modern version of Uganda, which is already something. Uh, Okay, you want to continue with the amazing sentences? Apparently, there was a human spaceflight program announced by Idi Amin.
Which year was this, actually? Do you have the
He
year?
announced.
I wanted to do diplomatic expansion here, but
Yeah, so
since I'm
he
losing,
announced an effort to do a human spaceflight program in 1971 that never progressed beyond an attempt at astronaut training on an obstacle course made of used automobile tires. In June 1999, this effort received the dubious recognition as one of the Times 100 magazine featured 100 worst ideas of the century, a top 100 that probably didn't include appeasement.
yeah, I mean Idi Amin was nothing short of crazy.
I hope I can check the.
Python, by the way.
Yep.
How have things been with you? Have you been doing some multiplayer gaming? Testing
Wasn't
out
able to.
the Wirtschaftswunder.
Not a lot of people play except on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to get any games in, unfortunately.
Maybe Bojack's up for a game as well. He
Maybe.
was writing in the chat. Because otherwise, if you're up for one next week, I would love to challenge you.
Alright, sounds good.
I've been doing some new planning. Have you seen the strategy I did with with conquering the Americas.
Can't wait to see it.
Oh no, succeeded with Operation Romeo. So, did you see the start, Python? We got
I did not.
so you start off with Ho Chi Minh, and he picked the Pathet Lao focus to begin with, and then removed my influence in the Thai Malaysian zone, and then I got Ho Chi Minh assassinated. But this is a tough one because I'm losing.
Oh yeah,
people.
I saw that. Yeah.
So it's a solid start, starting with the Pathet Lao. It's a strong one. What do you think, you guys? I should go for. Should I go for the Wirtschaftswunder? Or try and go for the M48, the weapons program?
I'd always go for the
What's
M48.
the first one?
The
Wait, I'm looking at.
so the first one is the weapons program. I could do Sri Lankan development, but yeah, I it's not that great. At this point, it would be better to just go for the weapons program, I think. Get the military alignment and then try to do the weapons program.
Aren't you giving too much info for your opponent? Or are you talking about false focuses just
No, he can't.
to...
He can't stop me.
He can't stop you from leaking everything. And then winning anyway like a boss.
Hey, Lightning Lord.
Did you see what happened twice to Python or Waffle?
Oh, an awful thing happened in Indochina. Ho Chi Minh apparently drank some bad tea.
Oh yeah, I noticed. I was gonna put a submarine in a command reserve, but then it moved it, and then put in the command reserve right after I lost people.
Well, still, you did a good start there. Did a good start. Got one more turn. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go for it. Weapons program.
Carry a big gun?
Hell yeah.
Disarmament.
solid.
Idi Amin also claimed to have seen a UFO himself.
But that has become popular nowadays too. Have you guys heard about this? That there are a lot of UFO sightings.
I mean, there were a vague of UFO sightings in Belgium in the 90s, and
Really?
my father, yes, and some have theorized it looks a bit like the B-2 stealth bomber, but that still makes you think, why would the Americans fly B-2s over Belgium? Which offer interesting questions, even if honestly that's still the best answer we. In addition, yeah, my father decided to become like a subscriber to the a group called the SOBEPS, which is the Belgian Society for the Observation of Spatial Phenomenon, if I remember. I'm trying to translate that on the fly. And it had a great perk, is that you would get a vintage post stamp every time you received a letter from them, because they apparently had a huge stock dating decades that they used every time they sent you a letter, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. So, but
And
does this society still exist, or?
that's a good question. I mean, I guess probably, I hope to. I hope so. And a funny thing is that somebody we know who basically somebody who became the sons became our childhood vacation friends in a way, but and then they discover, oh, you know suburbs too. The kind of funny detail. Let me check if they still exist. Oh, it's the Belgian committee. It's Cobebs.
What are the Soviets doing in
They
Svalbard?
made their inquiry about known as the incident of the Black Triangle, also known as the Belgian Wave in 1989-1990. Wait, it's Cobebs or Sobebs? Maybe they slightly changed the name, but yeah, they do Belgian ufology.
But but actually, this was a hoax photograph. The Black Triangle. Apparently, it was a hoax. Ooh. That's very interesting. That could be something for us to look at. But at first,
So yeah, apparently it changed the letter at some point. I think my father has one of those. You know, at least one of those.
so,
Yeah.
we saw some Soviet forces showing up in Yugoslavia. The Soviets have deployed forces in Yugoslavia. And there was a false flag operation in Svalbard. Actually, there's a... I thought we had a treaty in Svalbard, Lightning Lord. What happened?
Treaties are just people.
I mean, it's a little known fact, but the Soviets, there is a village that you can visit on Svalbard, where yeah, Russians and Ukrainians live. Did you guys know about this? It's called Barentsburg. Really, if you haven't heard about it, it's I can set up a link for it and in the
So interestingly, the most out of all the votes, the selected worst idea of the century was the programming decision that led to the Y2K bug. A bug that never occurred, but they didn't know that in 1999.
Oh yeah, we should give some background on this. So the Y2K, it was supposed to be a
The
bug.
bug of the year 2000, when they feared that when the computers were, go past to the year 2000, everything would crash, which would bring kind of the end of civilization, considering that everything became computerized, and then somebody realized, wait, there is a chance that everything will revert to 0000, and then it will crash and never go back. Or maybe they will think that will be in 1900, and there will be problem in all our database, considering that they would think that everything is in the future, and therefore every database could crash or stuff like that, which could potentially, block air traffic for days or weeks or years.
Yeah, precisely.
And all the similar stuff. Imagine you have a pump that is automated and it bugs, and there is a bug and it doesn't know what to do, so it stops or overflows.
William,
whatever.
a funny coincidence, by the way. Do you see what I got as a decision? Whilst you were talking about the Y2K.
No, something about this weapons program.
Yeah, the program setback.
Ah, yes. And there is a I know a fun French Canadian sketch, which is about
Yeah, Bojack is writing about the whole Y2K bug thing. Wasn't that a huge media frenzy? Massive one. I mean, not only were planes gonna fall out of the sky, but nuclear power plants were gonna stop, and there were gonna be pandemonium all over the world. And then, funnily enough, companies spent.
It did realize, but it ended up blocking air traffic only on September 2001.
So 3 turns left. 3 turns left for the tank program. Also, interesting development has been. Did you guys see what happened with the Aleutian Islands? The Soviets have removed their forces there. That's good. I appreciate that, Lightning Lord. That was kind. Did you do that for me, for us? Keep the peace.
Let's call it that.
When you put it like that, doesn't seem like you did it for it. But I remember the Y2K bug, and people were genuinely worried about that, and there was even I remember we went to the store and bought candles because there was this thing in the media that the street lights would stop working as soon as the clock went to midnight. The street lights would go out. Did you guys do anything for the preparation? Python, you guys did anything? You remember back?
No, but there is a French Canadian like audio story about the people celebrating the year 2000, and then they say, yeah, it's 2000, nothing happens. Oh shit, everything's shutting down. And then just a bunch of stupid stuff, like even the canary doesn't know how to sing anymore and then dies. And then the
What?
last thing that, yeah, I mean, it's an absurd little story, and it's fiction. And then at some point, one of the characters say, "The last thing we need is a man from the 60s. No, from the 2000s, as imagined in the 1960s." And of course, the next second, ding dong, who's that? I'm a man from the 2000s, as imagined in the 1960s. Please enter, please enter, Mr. 2000. Yes, as if that was his name. And then I'm bringing you a great news. The year 2000 will be as imagined in the 1960s. Look! Oh yes, the light is back. Wow, those buildings, that round architecture. Yes, everything is coming back. Oh, the flying cats. Suddenly everything's changed to
Yeah, I mean that's
with flying cars and stuff, and then he has to install new programs to, elevate the standards of living up to the year 2000 as imagined in the 1960s, and then he installed a new version of Windows that instantly crashes.
classic. Bojack wrote, I mean, with 15 years experience of desktop software management experience, I'm thinking, why didn't they just test what would happen? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that, like you described, William, then they went into these elaborate scenarios where, I mean, it was just, yeah, borderline insanity. Oh no. Darn, I wanted to avoid this one. Actually, Hmm. Yeah, alright, I'll do that one. Close on it. Close on this. One more turn. No, this is the last turn. Alright, well.
So,
I was so close, but I have to transfer it. And that partially gives it away, but didn't manage to complete the program. Oh, Bojack is writing that he is listening to us whilst chatting and playing against Python. And open a bottle of wine. Well, cheers to you, man.
yeah, I'll probably do the same just for. What?
No, cheers to you as well. Mighty cheers. Talking about now the summer is approaching. You guys have any Cold War related plans for the summer? Invading any country? Maybe striking up a peace or two?
Declaring the independence of the Southern Moluccan Republic so I can be on vacation in peace.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, Bojack wrote as well that weekend has started for him.
And then declaring the independence of Katanga just to renew the alliance with the Southern Moluccan Republic.
I mean, as many have read in the papers, sort of the Cold War has, well, talks of the Cold War has returned, and there's gonna be now a discussion about the meeting between Putin and Biden coming up next. And from what has been said, it might actually happen during the summer here. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, strategically and in terms of diplomacy. What do you guys think? Will that be
Situation exactly? What's the question?
so the meeting between that's planned between Biden and Putin?
Oh, it might be a good idea. We'll see. Might not result in anything though.
Yeah, Bojack wrote that his plan for the summer is to read the Cold War, the book by Odd Arne Vesta. He wrote that he went through the first 100 pages in 2 weeks, but then got bogged down.
Oh wow.
By the way,
That's a lot.
did you manage to find the Hunt for Red October in the end?
Thanks, it is interesting.
Oh, wasn't it? Yeah. Ooh, the fate of West Berlin. Spent to government. If the USA controls West Berlin, gain 1 finance alignment. Wow. Actually, I do control West Berlin. This is true.
Disarmament.
I went for disarmament. And now we can procure army commands again. Bojack wrote that Biden would get played like Trump did. It's good that the USA is really back on the world stage now.
Is it?
Oh, we are getting an invasion of the Aleutian Islands. No invasion.
It's not an invasion, it's a tourist party.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? You could have had a welcoming committee. You know, for a visit. Looks like an invasion.
No, like the people in the boats, they're all cheering like they were until we start firing them with the torpedoes.
No, I mean, I didn't declare war. I just made sure to cause some disarray with my submarine fleets against that fleet. Just making sure that you're friendly and reorganizing and not invading.
It's not like I had the finance one though. Maybe I have to control it and dominate West Berlin.
Yeah, and I think you're planning something in Western Europe with that. Citizen rights expansion. Wow. Gunning for the people. Gunning for the people. And the military. Soviet Union is building up society. So you were going for long game then? Bojack is writing that he thinks that you Python you're going easy on him. Is that what you're doing, Python?
Huh?
Bojack was writing that you're probably going easy on him in the game that you guys are playing.
No, not currently. He started off with a good focus, just made me lose a lot of people power, unfortunately.
Ah, wow.
But no, I don't go easy on him. I will try to at least.
USA is being quite a copycat right now.
You see, I kind of knew you were gonna be doing something terrible, and then you totally redeem yourself by sending another ship to the party. All right, let's see. Oh, we gotta go with this. Gotta go with that.
Disarmament.
Excellent. Yeah, that was really good because that meant that we could restore quite a bit of people interest for our administration by selecting the democratic movement here. We also gained 2 influence in South America, which is great. The Falklands, in fact, and we gained one right here. Centro-Sul Brazil. What I was mentioning before about the fleets is here in the Aleutian Islands. So we actually have two different fleets here. Both of them are reorganizing currently. But yeah, the Soviets have one more turn. I was worried about an invasion, but that threat is not over. We did a one-sided disarmament, so we can get attacked, as the Soviets have an arms race selected. In the beginning of each focus, you select one of the postures, either to arm or disarm. And yeah, we chose to disarm. Disarmament as a has an effect, which means that you cannot. You set your nation on disarmament footing, which means that you cannot declare new war zones. But on the other hand, by doing so and being a proponent for peace, you gain extra influence that you can place. Are you regretting you didn't disarm, Lightning Lord? I got a question about the policies. Yeah, policies are things that you can enact. They're basically like goals, so you can select to pursue them, and then when you have achieved the conditions that the policies are set for, then you can enact them. So I mean, I have one here with the Northeast Passage. I could gain 1 military and 2 victory points if I control Svalbard, I mean, and Norway. And I think that's what you wanted to prevent, right? Python, by that false flag in Svalbard. Lightning Lord? Was that what you wanted to prevent in Svalbard? Yep. Yeah, yep. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it. In terms of the space race, we mentioned that earlier. In the beginning, first timeline, from 1946, there are no missions that can be accomplished, so we have not launched a space race yet. Gonna be sacrificing 2 victory points. Well, what do you know? So many people arriving to the party. So a submarine apparently also wandered its way into the Aleutian Islands. You wouldn't know anything about that, Lightning Lord. Why are there so many Soviet units coming to the Aleutian Islands? Is it a rescue mission? Are they trying to do a rescue?
I said it's a tourist spot. They're just trying to have fun. You're trying to ruin it. How could you?
Come and party elsewhere. You're most welcome to come to Sweden.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It's not an open invitation though. I'm trying here to be a good host, but all of these forces are showing up in the Aleutian Islands. You don't have any aggressive intent, do you? I'm beginning to think, this is just a hunch, that you don't appreciate my forces being there. Well, so let's enact a policy. So this one, political expansion, will grant us elite alignment. So we got one. That means that during the next timeline, at the beginning of the next timeline, we will gain all of these alignments. We'll gain that as an income at the beginning. So let's get back to the issue here. Yeah, there we go. So the surface fleet would have become available otherwise, so we had to do something about that. So there are massive fleets now in the movement in between Alaska, so in the Barents Sea here, in between Alaska and the Aleutian Islands. Things look quiet elsewhere, but shouldn't say too much. Actually, it's probably good to have a little bit of an insurance policy here. So this is the last Soviet turn for the timeline, I believe. There we are, new timeline. And then since we're leading, our faction is leading 6 victory points, the Soviets will begin. Oh, this is interesting. You now have 4 to choose between, out of which 3 are Western Europe. So, I'm guessing we're gonna go Western Europe. or are you aiming for South Asia first? Let's have a look at South Asia. Oh, this could be interesting. Lightning Lord, what do you find to be the biggest challenge at this stage of the match?
Right now is doing boats at the oceans. Not too. Yeah, too.
Yeah, precarious situation.
Yeah, it's a bit tedious for the tourists.
So your fear is that I will select an arms race, and then terrible things will happen. How about if I make you a deal? Steel Authority. Finance alignment. So we did go to...
Arms race.
We did get to South Asia. And, yeah. You selected disarmament.
The enemy have launched their first object into space.
Aww. You got to space ahead of me. Going and doing the first satellite in orbit also grants 10% to reconnaissance, and you get this regardless if you're first or second, but the bonus that it provides, the victory points, you only get that if you're first. So this one could provide 2 victory points, but to get that I need to be first. Now researching this would give me no victory points at all. Unlike Animal in Orbit, so when we get to the next timeline, if I would research that, I would get to 2. Time Malaysian zone gets Soviet influence. You're establishing a lot of influence in South Asia. That looks... yeah, worryingly Soviet. Bojack is right. I don't think I've ever won against Python. I've played most games against him. Kid is damn good. You hear that, Python?
Appreciate it. You're a pretty good player too, man. Tough to beat.
Where did you guys begin in your game? Did you begin in Western Europe?
We actually started in South Asia. We didn't transition when it came to. I lost some people power there because of the focus, and I went to North America, picked up a elites alignment, and now in a new focus, I'm picking up elites and finance alignment from a focus I got in Central America. Havana conference, I think.
Wow. I just managed a major attack against Soviet forces on the
Yeah,
ocean.
that looked nasty. Oh my goodness. Oof. Impressive. Getting its peacetime, right?
Yep. I'm defending the Aleutian Islands against Soviet invasion. Enemy intel in West Berlin. And the Aleutian Island stands. This would be a really interesting one. Either that or this. I think I'm actually going to go with Strategic Air Command.
Disarmament.
So we get a mutual disarmament. Which is perfect for us. Also gives us a chance to gives us the policy of NORAD. Which is a super interesting one. What NORAD does is if you have fighter commands in all of Western Canada, Central Canada, and Eastern Canada, and you have the Supreme Commander DLC, then you can convert that into domination. So you gain domination in all of those. Or if you have at least 5 influence in Central Canada, so here, and you have at least 5 military, then you can also do the same. So it gives us several options. We could put fighters here. It would take us 3 turns to deploy them. We could deploy an army command in Central Canada, use that to gain military. To gain influence, and then convert that into influence in Eastern Canada and Western Canada, or we can also do a false flag, spending elites to do so. It's a lot of options. What we also must be careful with what's happening here on Svalbard. Oh no! Did you guys see that? Greenland. How did you succeed with that?
I'm the master of the false flagging.
Well, that was good. It was a nice comeback. Wow, how many fighters do you have there?
A number.
Even more fighters. Wow, that's...
We have launched our first object into space.
So we launch our first object into space. The benefit of doing that is obviously we get the extra 10% recon, so we can do recon missions much easier. 10% is makes a huge difference. But even more importantly, now we caught the Soviet forces in Greenland. Were you surprised by that, Lightning Lord?
It did have some sort of defense at some point.
Say again, the...
I figured you would have some sort of defense.
So yeah, the Soviets select next focus. Popular unrest, Western Europe. So, yeah, now comes the posture selection, and this could be interesting, seeing what the Soviets will select.
Disarmament.
Very tense moments here. Svalbard. Seems lost. Yeah, we have to had to unfortunately give way in Svalbard. There were probably a lot of forces there, so The current focus is still in Western Europe. That's where we've been disarming. And the Soviets been not waging war, but definitely pressing forward. And now it's our turn to select.
Arms race.
So we go for Sub-Saharan Africa. We also got a war zone in Angola. Oh, we will begin. Massive bombing campaign against the East German Baltic zone. Oh, we get an invasion. Berlin. Hey, that's not cool. Would you do that? It's very unkind, in fact.
I didn't do anything. Your bombers just so happened to blow up the Berlin Wall, so there's no barrier now.
So yeah, of course, the focus is on Sub-Saharan Africa currently. So all the missions we do here have an extra cost in people. So just got a question in terms of the different theaters. Yep. So if you select this button, the global minimap, then you can quick navigate between the theaters by just clicking on the specific theater in it. So if you click the global minimap, you get to the minimap, then you can just simply select a theater and you'll get there. You can also, if you switch from the main overview and switch to logistics, then if you click on the map, then you'll see logistics for a specific region, so you can see where it goes. And then of course you have the nuclear map mode, which shows you where your nuclear forces can reach. Python, are you how's the match with Bojack? Are you
he's currently leading in 13 plus victory points to Soviets.
Wow.
And he now just activated Zaidu Uprising, so he might be getting the North Korean leader soon.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's doing pretty good, yes. We
I
currently
was
still
hoping you would.
I have the western part of the Middle East, he has the eastern part of the Middle East, and we just started the Asian Zeta right now. First time going there.
Oh, cool.
I was hoping you would have fight us there.
Ah.
Chin up, friend. Otherwise you can't see the screen. In fact, that's probably why you lost.
Yay!
No. I've been removed from power by my own people. The call for reforms, forming the backbone of a movement. No. Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like I've been defeated. I pushed too hard. Pushed too hard.
Good game, man.
Yeah. So what was your plan, Lightning Lord? You want to reveal it?
Plan was just to keep pushing from Greenland.
Oh, I have. Yeah, you maybe didn't see, but I had a bunch of fighters in North America. I don't think you would have succeeded in pushing that. Because I had all my units basically there. Inside the fighters, I had bomber, yeah, and I even had a surface fleet. So I was planning on just driving in there with the surface fleet and then just putting the army command onto Greenland to defeat all
I have a few.
the
I had a few boats prepared in the Western European theater just in case that happened.
But did you have a submarine there? Because otherwise you couldn't. You
I
wouldn't.
had the subs yeah, the subs that I start with, and then I had the destroyer that was there at the Illusion Islands before.
Yeah, but in the end, though, I would have overpowered the forces you have because I could have well, I could have had more. I had more regions to put bombers and fighters into in the end. But yeah, I would have lost the Aleutian Islands, so the cost would have been the Aleutian Islands. Though in the end, I think I would have gotten quite a bit of victory points should I have survived that. I needed more people power to do it. But there was a 50-50 chance of me losing there at the end, and yeah, I pushed too hard. You know, what was actually a tactical mistake? I should have placed. I did plan on placing a fighter command on the Aleutian Islands, but then I didn't do that because that would have meant that after the bombing, now I would have been able to destroy your forces there. I forgot that you asked me, you thought that I would have placed a fighter command on the Aleutian Islands, and that's the one thing I didn't do. I forgot about that. So when I did the attack, you were able to strike back, and then I didn't have anything to back that up with. But otherwise, I could have gotten quite a bit of your forces in Eastern Europe there as well. Would have been decently placed to then go for a nuclear launch, a very early nuclear launch, but I think it would have been quite successful because I would have had so many victory points. Because you placed you had 5 army commands in there and 2 surface fleets as well, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so that's like 20 points just for the army commands and then 12 more for the surface fleet, so 32 more points. And I had 12. So that would have been 44 victory points just from that. Would have been pretty good. How many nukes did you have?
I was keeping track.
Yeah, I had quite a few because I also did the strategic air command. So I was gonna actually go for a quick game in that sense. Just go for getting a lot of victory points at the beginning and then going for the nuclear launch. And then getting, yeah. Because restoring, maxing people with, as I ran people to the bottom, my plan was to restore that with the focus that inverts your people power, yeah, your people influence. You know that one. And then going for a nuclear launch, an early nuclear launch. I think I could have destroyed at least some of your forces further on, but yeah. But having a lead of 44 and then inverting people would have meant I would have gotten no backlash, people backlash for launching the nuclear strike at the apocalypse. But I pushed too far. My people didn't believe in that my administration could do it. Damn them! Well, I think this is the most warlike play that you can do. But of course, the risk of it is that what you just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, that sometimes it does involve a great risk of doing so, that your people can actually turn against you. I mean, you are in effect aiming to gain world domination, not by the width of your argument, or your wise leadership, but by the end of a barrel of a gun, essentially. You know what I also had, Lightning Lord? I had in Malaysia. I actually had a surface fleet with an army command on it. I had one deployed in the Philippines and then moved that up. So in South Asia as a counterpoint. Did you have any forces beyond any conventional forces in South Asia?
I did 3 times more than.
Yeah. Well, it was a very swift, but yeah, good game. Have you ever tried the strategy to win a quick game with the U.S. for a quick nuclear war that was successful? Lightning Lord.
That time.
Hmm. I pioneered this strategy last week. On Saturday, I was playing 2 games.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's where I pioneered this strategy of basically going with the U.S. And if you have a chance, um, if you get a chance where you get at least in the first timeline like 10 victory points, that sets you up for a decent play, especially if you can get to a point where you can exploit the U.S. forces against the Soviet forces in Eastern Europe if they didn't disarm. And then if you have about 40-ish points, victory points at that point, and you get the focus to invert your people power, then essentially you can go for a quick apocalypse. But it's a really tough one to pull off if the opponent figures out what you're trying to do, and because there's a very simple solution to that, and that is to start disarming your own Soviet forces in Eastern Europe and basically moving them away elsewhere, or attacking any going for an arms posture and attacking any places where you might suspect that the U.S. actually has bomber commands deployed. So it's quite easy to get out of if you kind of realize where things are going. But congratulations to the win, Lightning Lord. That was well played, man. Yeah,
Okay.
you kept the pressure up, and then yeah, we didn't have any other choice but to commit to that strategy. Um, yeah, I think uh, I think I'm gonna call that, and then Python. Are you guys streaming the game you guys are playing?
Currently, yes.
Oh, terrific. Then with that, if you wanna challenge us for next week, just write a comment down below. And I want to thank everyone that was here today. And just write a message. I will be playing some more games.
That sounds good. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, terrific. Then I'll see you guys next week.
Alright, see ya, man.